donate that to to a television network. Is watching Empire Scandal and World Star Hip Hop. Is that what you're doing with your time? What are you doing with that time? So I say this because not to put anybody on a pedestal, but what I will say is that there's a higher standard that must be met in our community. And some of y'all are meeting that standard. In fact, that's why some of y'all are here. And it's okay that the people who don't meet the standard aren't here. That's okay. Usually the people that come and listen to what I have to say are either people who are meeting a standard or trying to meet a higher standard. You're welcome either way. It doesn't matter where you're at. It doesn't matter. You could be in here and be totally illiterate. I don't care if you're illiterate. It doesn't take that long to learn how to read. I don't care if you can't do math. It doesn't take that long to get better at math. I was talking to a guy named Harry Smith the other day. And I hope he doesn't mind me mentioning, he's actually the brother of Will Smith. And Harry is a smart guy, and when I'm talking to him, he's a finance guy, and he's really intense, and we were talking financial stuff, and it was kind of freaky, actually, because he looked at me, and he has Will Smith's eyes, and I'm like, whoa, this is strange. I feel like I'm looking at Will Smith. And we talked for a long time, and one of the things that Harry brought up, and I hope he doesn't mind me mentioning this, because we both agreed on this, is people don't understand how much you're limiting your child when you don't give your child mathematical skill. When your child can't do basic things, like if I say, okay, I'm going to make 5,000, I'm going to give you 20% of the 5,000, how much is that going to be? If they can't instantly say, oh, that's $1,000, then how are they ever really going to do business, and how are they actually ever going to get money when they can't even tell you what 20% of 5,000 is? How are they going to negotiate a business deal without being able to, in their head, say, okay, 20%, that's not bad. You know, 1,000 is not bad, but I need a little bit more. They can't. And what I'm trying to say to you is that you got to understand, these kids that can't do math, they're all getting the same 168 hours in a week as everybody else. What are they doing with that time? What's happening with that? What are they investing that time in? Well, you know what they invested it in. They invested it in nonsense, in stupid stuff. They're wasting their time. So one of the things talking to Harry really made me feel like I was talking to a long lost relative. This guy is super smart. He's financial. We talked about, not just the work he does with Will. He did a lot with Will. He's instrumental in Will's success. But we talked a lot about, running a production company and distribution and all these other things. And I was super impressed with this guy. And I said, you know what? Now I understand why you and your brother are so successful. Now I understand that. When I look back in the origin of the family, I realized, wait a minute, Will's father was an engineer. His mother was a teacher. So in that household, there wasn't no ignorant stuff to be going on in that house. In that household, education was important. Setting standards was important. Working hard was important. It wasn't like, oh yeah, we just gonna sling it out, thug it out, sit on the corner, hold our testicles all day. No, Will's brother is as smart as Will, and Will turned down MIT to go become an actor. So there's a standard that some of our households are meeting, and those of us who want to be successful must understand how to reach that higher standard. And so, anyway, I just bring that up to encourage you to just say, stop acting like white supremacy stops us from doing anything that we want. There's a lot of opportunity in this country. A lot of opportunity. There's a lot of ways for you to go out here and build something, create something. But if you ain't got no skill, you'll never get there. In fact, I was just thinking about that. I was thinking about people I know who, when you tell them, like, hey, you need to go to school. Why don't you go to school? Why don't you go to school? They're like, oh, I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to school. Well, what are you doing instead of going to school? Pretty much nothing, smoking weed or whatever. And then that same person that didn't want to go to school is the one calling you when they done got into a situation. You ever get that call like, hey man, I'm in a situation. Like, you know what that means, right? That means you're going to need some money. The reason you're calling me to tell me about your situation is because you know that I got the money to help you get out of your situation. Well, how the hell did you get in that situation other than actions that were taken by you? It was either due to actions that were not thought out, or the lack of desire to prepare to protect yourself in case something really does go down. because I'm like, man, you end up in a lot of situations, man. I don't end up in situations like that. Like, how do you end up in these situations? Like, what's really happening, right? It's about choices, man. Seriously, choices. And people don't think about that. And it's very weird to me, and it's really stupid to me. Anyway, let me stop and go.